guys, welcome back to Into the Light, a different life story. Today we have got 10 points in 10 minutes with Kate Kunkel.
Hello there. Thank you so much for joining me. And today we're going to be talking about some of the myths that can cause problems when you're looking after your brain. So the first one, brain function naturally declines as you get older. No, it doesn't. That's not true. There's no reason your brain has to decline as you get older. I bet you know brilliant older people who are sharp as a tack. Think about their lifestyles. Are they involved with others? Are they learning and being interested in new things? So we also know older people who seem to be sort of aimless. Think about their lifestyle. That's not the lifestyle you want to duplicate. You want to be involved and keep learning. It's not natural to lose your mind. The second myth is that if I do crosswords or Sudoku, or I play computer brain games, it will make my brain neuroplastic. I will have neuroplasticity. And while there are certain things that you can do in terms of games to help, generally speaking, the only way a brain game can help if it's something that's new to you. So if you've done crosswords all your life, doing crosswords is not going to improve your brain. And if you do computer games, and there are some out there that are helpful, they usually work best if you have some kind of guidance or a specific goal for those games. So that's another myth. They're not going to ward off mental decline except for certain circumstances. The next one, memory loss, is the biggest symptom to worry about, and it can be a direct result of too much stress. Absolutely, it can be a direct result of too much stress, but memory loss is not the first thing to watch out for if you're concerned about your brain, not even close. So there are many things like personality changes. You can lose your sense of smell. You can start having cravings for something sweet. Those are also signals, and they are actually a little bit more concerning than memory loss. So if you find yourself craving sugar all of a sudden and you never really cared for it before, something to pay attention to, and for your loved ones as well. Those cravings, actually, they're a symptom of frontotemporal dementia, and that can also come along with things like inappropriate language or behavior. So those are things to watch out for. Much more of concern than memory loss. Another thing, my brain's going to slow down as I get older. Well, sometimes it does occur as a natural result of aging. So example, like you might not be able to answer questions as quickly or pivot if you've got a problem that you haven't dealt with before. That can slow down, but you can see many more facets. You've got a 30,000-foot view of things as you get older. So what you might lose a little bit of in terms of processing speed is far made up with all the information you have that you can use and bring to the table when you need to solve a problem. And there are other reasons that you could have slower thoughts processing. It could be because maybe you're not sleeping well, or there could be medications that you're taking. So you want to look at that instead of just thinking, oh, slow processing, I'm losing my mind. Not necessarily. And the same with brain fog. We hear that so much, and that does have a lot to do with stress, for sure. But it can also be from an unhealthy gut. So just because you're feeling like your brain's filled with cotton, it doesn't mean that you're getting old or that it's natural brain loss. It could be that you might just have an unhealthy gut. You might not be getting the nutrients you need from your gut into your bloodstream and to your brain. So that can definitely signal brain fog, or it can manifest as brain fog. So look after your gut. Another thing that can cause that is depression. And it can also lead to another thing that shows up, trouble concentrating. This is very common for people with depression, and it's also very common for people with sleep disturbances, or for people who've had some kind of a brain injury, or maybe exposure to some kind of toxin like mold. So these can be symptoms of some kind of cognitive decline, but they can also be signals for you to look at your environment, to look at what's happening. Is there something going on that I need to look after? Because you don't want it to just cascade and get worse, right? The idea is to catch it when you can and don't just accept it as part of aging. Another thing people tend to do and consider normal as we age, and it could be a sign of an aging brain, is to feel like you're going in slow motion, or that you're seeing things in slow motion. So this is common among people who have advancing dementia, absolutely. But it's also common when you have drug interactions or hypoglycemia or some other insulin resistance problem. And that's, again, something you want to look after. Make sure your insulin is proper, that you are getting enough sugar and not too much sugar, that you're getting enough protein, right? So that's another thing that can manifest as slow motion. Also, get your hormone functions checked, because that feeling of slow motion is also very common if you're lacking in omega-3 fatty acids or vitamin D3 or B12. So those can also manifest that way. Doesn't have to continue. And another big myth is that just because mom or dad or grandma or somebody had dementia, you're going to get it. No. Certainly, there is what's called the APOE4 allele, and that can lead to dementia, especially if both parents have it and you have it. But that doesn't mean it's a death sentence. It doesn't mean it's a sign that you're going to get dementia. Everything in our genetic, most everything, I should say, can be changed by our lifestyle. We can either turn those genes on or make sure they stay turned off. So a good, healthy lifestyle, good whole foods, plant-based diet, lots of good nutrients, lots of different colors in your foods, all those things, those can help you. So that's another thing. Just because mom or dad had it doesn't mean you're going to have it. Now, on Stefan's show here, the big question, are mind-altering substances okay for your brain? Absolutamente no. A few drinks or an occasional puff? No, it's not okay. Every time we use a mind-altering substance, we're also altering our brain. And we don't need to give it any more things to be concerned about. We have so many toxins in our environment. We have so many things that can affect us. We don't need to voluntarily put something in there that's going to cause problems. We want to be nice to our brains, right? Everything you do, when you pick it up or you're going to make a choice, ask yourself this question. I learned this from my trainer, Dr. Amen. Is this good for my brain? And if the answer is no, or I'm not sure, then don't do it. It's that simple. And if in the case of things like learning new things or exercise, you ask yourself, is that good for my brain? Absolutely. So go for it. Just have fun. Remember, joy is such a huge part of a mindful and happy brain. Take joy in things. Do things that make you happy, but that are good for your brain. And then the final thing I want to share with you, we're not stuck with the brains we have. It doesn't matter what we've done. There have been instances where people have had severe ongoing brain trauma, like football players. They have severe concussions, many things like that going on. People even who have dementia, we can actually change our brains. We can turn them around. You're not stuck with the brain you have. It takes work. It's not a given that you're going to fix it just because you want to. Like anything else, you have to get off your guff and do something about it. But it's not hard. It's not rocket science. Eat well, make sure you've got the right nutrients, exercise, keep learning, be grateful, enjoy life, and watch people like Stefan so that you get all kinds of good information, because everything you learn that's new is good for your brain. And that's it.
Okay, what a beautiful summary. What a beautiful summary of a message that is such important for all of us. The past does not equal the future. And Kate, every single word you said was gold. I'm so grateful for you to come back onto my show. You guys out there, you've heard it here. Just go out there, take one decision at a time, but make some decisions right now when you have your next food. Is that really what you want? Or, hey, tell you what, you have a sandwich? Cool. Put some salad leaves on there. Suddenly you've got something green, that new kind of color that probably was a bit missing. Go out there, have a fantastic life. It's your choice. You make it. Look after yourself. Bye.
Bye.